Ready? One, two, three, start. For small farmers who have small operational holdings, appropriate schemes have to be launched. If encouraged to adopt improved techniques and provided with necessary supplies of agricultural inputs, including credit, many of these small farmers will be benefited. An attempt in this regard is the setting up of the Small Farmers Development Agency as recommended by the All India Rural Credit Review Committee in selected areas of the country. The State Bank Group has already decided to support the program in all the areas where such an agency has been set up. Besides small farmers, appropriate scheme would also require to be launched for the benefit of landless agricultural laborers who account for both one-fourth of the total rural households in the country. Next para. A few schemes are being implemented by us on an experimental basis to supplement the incomes of this class of farmers. Despite the existence of a network of cooperative societies throughout the country, it has not been possible for them to cover all their members. Commercial banks have entered the field of agricultural finance mainly to supplement the efforts of the cooperatives and not with a view to competing with them for the available business. Number of steps have been started by us to avoid competitions with the cooperatives. As one of the measures, interest on agricultural advances is charged by our offices generally at 0.5% higher than the rate charged by the cooperatives locally on similar advances. Next para. There is also need for greater coordination between the commercial banks and the cooperatives in the field of agricultural finance. Commercial banks could make maximum use wherever possible of the cooperative network which enjoys certain advantages. It is in this light that one has to view the recent experiment started by the Reserve Bank of India for the financing by commercial banks of primary agricultural credit societies located in areas where the central cooperative banks are organizally and financially weak. During the ensuing Kharif season, the State Bank Group will finance over 1 lakh farmers through about 1,000 such societies. Apart from filing the credit gaps in agriculture, the experiment is also expected to give new energy to the societies taken up by the banks for the purpose of providing assistance. Next para. The test of viability is an important in agricultural finance as in other areas of business. The eligibility of farmers for bank finance and the amount of loan must necessarily be determined with reference to the production plan and the repaying capacity of the farmers and not merely related to the value of the land or other tangible security which the borrower can offer. This does not, of course, mean that the security aspect should be ignored. Next para. Views have been expressed that the practice of some commercial banks of demanding mortgage of land as security for crop finance is unjustifiable. Mortgage of land as cover for bank credit is the only effective means of ensuring that the farmer does not raise funds from any other source without the prior knowledge of the bank. Besides crop finance, banks assist the farmers for land improvement, sinking wells, purchase of equipment, etc. The mere fact that mortgage of land to commercial banks involves too much legal formalities should not be an excuse for not offering land as security. The entire question of simplification of the legal procedure relating to financing of agriculture by commercial banks is being examined by an expert group set up by the Reserve Bank of India. Adequate measures are expected to be taken towards this end shortly. Next para. As I mentioned earlier, while security would be essential from the point of view of lending by commercial banks, security alone cannot be the criterion governing the lending operations. In this connection, I would like to mention the widely existing practice of granting advances to farmers against gold ornaments. Such advances, unless they are for agricultural purposes, should be discouraged. Where such advances are intended for financing agriculture, it would be necessary to subject the proposal to the usual test of viability. According to my vast experience, there is no great justification in relaxing the usual test of viability even in such cases. Next, dear friend, I am sending this letter to you as I think you may remember me. We met recently at the party given by my friend at the club, and while we were talking with one another, I told you that my business interests were making it necessary for me to leave the little town in which I am now living and to live much nearer the city. Next para. At the party, there was very little opportunity to continue our talk, but you did tell me that your business was the buying and selling of horses. I therefore got into touch with our friend and he has given me your address. I am now writing to ask whether you have anything on your books like to interest me. Next para. I want a house with large rooms as I just cannot live in little rooms that one finds in every modern house. I want 4 or 5 bedrooms on the upper stories. Please don't send details of house with less than 4 bedrooms as I have 2 children, each of whom needs a room, and I like to be able to put up a friend for the weekend. The principal living room should be large. The second one for taking meals could be smaller. I do not want a house with only one living room. Next para. Have you anything that you can offer me for consideration not more than 20 miles from the city and with a good thorough train service? If you can find something for me, I shall put the sale of my present property into your hands. Details of the house are sent to you with this letter. Kindly write to me regarding this matter as early as possible with kind regards and good wishes. Yours truly.